And next, what we would like you to know is information that most lenders are looking for when you're going to look for leveraging for your project, when you're looking for to put an application forward to request financing. So the information that typically that you'll find, you're looking at a summary of your development experience. You want to make sure this is the time that you can take to show or to give a narrative definition of who you are. Make sure you're clear and concise about what your experience is and what you've done in the arena of doing this type of development project. If you have experience, but clearly define what that experience is. And if you don't have much experience or you're new to development, please provide information that you're using some kind of development consultant, or you have a very experienced contractor that you're working with and they have a wealth of knowledge about renovating properties in the city of Baltimore. You want to make sure you're clear about that. And this is your one opportunity to be able to provide that to a particular lender so they know about who you are and what your intent is for the project. You want to make sure you give a great property description. You want to know what that property is, what you intend to do with the property. Be clear about that. You know, if you're looking to renovate the property to hold in your rental portfolio, be clear about that. If you're looking to renovate to sell the property, must be clear and just kind of define what the project really looks like. Is it one single family unit being sold, or is it one house when they're going to put 2 or 3 units in that property and you plan to lease them? You want to kind of know, have a foresight and do due diligence about what it is the lease amounts or rental payments would be for that property, because all those things you need to kind of put forward as early as possible. And when you're putting an application for financing into a lender, they want to know these things. They want to make sure that you're clear about what it is that you're doing and what the end result is. You're going to provide a scope of work and a budget. You want to make sure you're clear about the cost of your project. You want to make sure you're not going into a project unknowing, and you want to make sure that the market can bear the cost that you're proposing for your project. You want to just make sure that you're not underestimating or you're not you're not over going with what the project is. So additionally, you're going to look at the impact on the neighborhood. That's one of the things what we talked about, looking at the community. So you want to make sure you've had those conversations and seeing how your project is going to impact the neighborhood. Timelines and things of that nature. You want to make sure that, you're clear about those budgets and what your timelines are, what the contractor believes is an adequate time to do so, and that you want to make sure that you include enough time to provide for incidents that occur that you don't know what actually could be in the future, something that arises that you had no idea about what was going on. You want to be clear about that. You want to make sure you have all of the information, like I talked about, what you're going to do with your rentals, any comparables. That would be great to provide. As much information you can provide going forward in the beginning is the best thing, so you're not leaving any gaps in the application. So you want to make sure you're looking at all these things, showing who you are as a developer or a new developer, what your experience is, your experience of your development team, making sure your property description is there, you know what your budget and your scope is, the impact on the community, the timeline, and your project details. You want to make sure you put that forward as along with making sure that you are clear about your community impact. And then next, we want to talk a little bit more about some of the additional items that a lender might look for or will look for in your quest to leveraging financing. You want to make sure that you have your personal financial statements up to date and making sure that you understand what your personal net worth is going into the deal, which you look like financially. So you want to make sure you have that. You've gone through that process for yourself and understanding what you're presenting to a lender. Lenders will need to access your credit and understand what your capacity is. And that's what they're looking for in your financial information. So as a part of that financial information, you'll be providing a lender, say, 3 years of tax returns, 3 of your most recent bank statements, if there's savings and checking, if you have any investment statements, quarterly investment statements, stocks, you want to provide that so the bank or the financer should get a clear picture of who you are, and what your capacity is financially to guarantee the loan that you're requesting, the funds that you're requesting for your project. And just make sure you're clear about that when you're moving forward. You're providing all those details to the lender so they know exactly where you are, who you are, and put your best foot forward. This is your opportunity to be sure that you're giving them everything that they need. So don't kind of skimp on saying, hey, I'll just give you one bank statement for this account. You want to put your best foot forward, paint a picture of who you are in totality. So you're looking to cover all the bases. So your lender understands clearly who you are. You want to put an application forward that the lender doesn't have to question a lot. So you want to make sure that you're covering all your bases and, dotting all those I's and crossing all those T's as you go forward through the application process with any lender. And also think about those credit-worthy ideas, those 5 C's of credit, making sure you have all those things in place, and do these things beforehand and don't wait until you're in application. And you don't want to provide piecemeal information. If you can put a full package together to provide to your lender, that's the best thing to do. And so lastly, what we have here is information, and we're going to toss this next section over to Roy Miller, who is our loan administrative coordinator at BCL. He's the person who you would first in line speak with when you're requesting funds from BCL if you're looking to leverage financing from our organization. So Roy.
Good evening, everyone. And once again, thank you for participating in this evening's event. As Dierdra mentioned, my name is Roy Miller, and I'm the Loan Administrative Coordinator. And I will be your first point of contact when you are initially looking to seek funding through BCL. I will assist you with the application and document upload, and of course, answer any questions you have with regard to our criteria and lending process. You can either access our application on our website at www.bclending.org, or you can just contact me directly at my direct line at 410-862-0938, or by email at roy.miller@bclending.org. And I'll be more than happy to supply you with all the necessary initial documentation you'll need to get started. And then once you have completed an application and submitted documentation, I'll see you through the process of the application right up to pre-underwriting and closing.